What's up guys, it's Jay Alvarez, and today in this video I'm going to show you how you could add an amplifier and a woofer to your stock system by adding a low input converter. And I gotta say, I actually tried this in my truck and I found out that the stock stereos on these Dodge vehicles or Chrysler vehicles, there's a bass roll off, and what that means is when you turn it up, if you have the bass all the way up, what it does, it'll cut that bass off so your speaker could last longer. That's what they do. So if you guys notice, when you turn it up with full bass, it'll like cut and distort, so there's a loop going down. So I have this other converter that I put in there, and I'm going to show it to you guys right now. So I don't know if you guys could see, this is the audio control LC2i, and what this does, it gets your stereo speaker output and converts it to RCA. And what I liked about this little module right here, if you notice, I have a full range output and then I have a low output for bass only. So what I did was I added an amp to the door speakers and added one for a 10-inch kicker that I installed, and I'm going to show you guys how I did this. Pardon the dust, but I put it in my glove box, so like that. So guys, I want to take a little time to explain to you guys how this works. This is auto control LC2i. It's a 2-channel. If you guys could see right here, these come from your factory stereo. What it is the high output. It takes the signal that your stereo is putting out, it takes it in here, as you guys can see right there, and then it comes over here and it converts it into RCA, so you could be able to install amps. And what I like about this one is here's your full range and here's your low. So what this is all vocals and tweet for the front speakers, and then this one is for your subwoofer, and it throws all low frequency. And then over here you do have to power up. That's the only bad thing. But what I did, this little thing doesn't require a lot of juice, so all I did was run it in parallel, I can't even say it, from the stereo connections to here, because you need a remote, you need a 12 volt, a remote, and a ground. And what I like about this one, that you don't need the remote. If you read the instructions, as soon as it gets signal, boom, from the stereo, that you powered up the stereo, it'll power this up and it'll send signal to your amp. You don't need, all I did was here was ground and power, constant power. You don't need to switch. And then right here, what I liked about it too, it has a remote out. So this one, I send it to the amp so it could power up the amps. So this thing comes in handy. This is the old version. There's a newer one. I think all it is it has a black face instead of having this chrome face or aluminum face, whatever it is. And then here, so you could tune your bass, your mid-range gain, and your bass right there, bass boost for lower end. And what this thing does is, for the newer vehicles, the stock system, what it does is it blocks the bass from the speakers at certain volumes, so they won't distort and it won't mess them up, so they could last longer. That's what the dealership is thinking. But this reverses that, so it sends, to me, it sounded like it had more impact on the lower end, and it sounded a lot cleaner than running this guy right here. This guy is an inline converter. It's the same thing, but the thing with this, I haven't opened it because I'm going to use it on my other vehicle. But if you look, it's the same thing. It requires power, ground, and remote, so I could power up. So this one needs power as well, and then it sends it to your amp. But the thing I didn't like about this, since the stereo has that, they call it a bass roll off. So it sends all the signal, whatever the stereo is putting out, this sends it to the amp, and it distorted a lot, and the bass, you could hear the bass start to cut off. It wouldn't hit those deep notes. So that's what I noticed from this. So that's why I went out and bought this one right here. It's a lot more expensive. This one was like 20 bucks. This one was, I believe, 100 bucks a few years back. Pretty sure it should be the same or probably a little bit more. It's like a mini amp. Check it out. And this is the optional bass remote if you want one. So this is a 2010 Ram. I believe the 2009 and the 2012s pretty much look the same, even on some Jeeps like the Patriots and all that. You notice that they have this ugly stereo right here, and what I have right here is this little, it's a little plastic removal tool, and you notice it's nice and thin, so I can remove these plastic without damaging the bezel right here. So I'm gonna show you guys what you guys need to do to remove this bezel right here. So the first thing that you want to do to reveal one of the bolts is you come to this little thing right here, and if you notice, there's a little slot right there, so you can stick your little removal tool so you could get it out. So what you do is you lift this and you stick this in there, and it'll come right off. Look at that. So now this comes off, and there's your first bolt right there. It's a little star. So now you come up here where it says Ram. Same thing. Let's stick this in there. Bam, pops right out. There's some more stars. Check it out. There's two, so it's those three first, and then I'm gonna take those off, and then I'll come back to you guys. Right here. So now what you want to be careful with this is try to apply pressure right here. So what we're trying to do is pull out and up, so it could come off. You guys will hear the clips come off. Look at that. So what I did is I grabbed it from the corner and I pulled this way and up, so it could all come off at the same time, because if I pull this way I could just break it or something. And this is at this point it's a 7-year-old vehicle, so you guys want to be careful with that. So, and then this comes off like that. Let's see if I have to remove anything. Okay, so now if you guys look at this, look at these guys. They put, I believe that looks like an 8mm. It has one each, so let's take those off. Okay, so I found it, guys. It's a 7mm. I thought it was an 8, but it's a 7. Okay, so those are out, and now we can just pull on this. Okay, here's the stock. Okay, let you guys come closer in here. Okay guys, so what I did right here was that I went out and I actually bought the harness that goes to this particular vehicle, and what I did was I plugged it in here. I can't do it with one hand, but I plugged it in here, and then from there, this is how I found my right and left front. That was my signal. That's what I was gonna grab to use for the converter to be able to turn it into RCA output. So what I did is I just followed these leads right here. You guys can see there's a white, and then there's a white with the black stripe right there. So this will be one of my front ones. I don't remember exactly which one's right or left. And then these two gray ones right here, the same thing. You'll see a gray one, and you'll see a gray one with the black stripe. You can see it right over here. So these are the two front. The green and the purple are the rear. The rear, I didn't touch them, I just left them. So what I did was I followed these, the two front ones, I followed them through the harness onto the car harness. And then once I was there, I don't know if you guys can see, I chopped them up. I cut them, and this is a factory harness. I cut them, and then I hooked up. I cut them here, and I send them to here. You guys could see right here. These right here, this little connector, this is my output. So I got the high input in here, so that's my RCA now. So this converts it to that, so I could be able to go out. So after that, I taped this up, and then from my amp, I'm gonna show you guys. These wires right here are coming from the amp, aftermarket amp that I installed for front speakers. So where I cut them, the other end, these, if you notice, these are going back to the harness. These are actually going to the doors, but they're not coming from the stereo itself. They're coming from the aftermarket amp, and I'll show you guys that how I did it. And that's how you do it. That's how I did it. It's been working for me. I've had this for 2 or 3 years already. Have no issues. But right now, today, I finally got tired of the stupid stock stereo. I'm putting a Pioneer in here. So this is what I'm gonna put in here, and this is what you're gonna need to if you're gonna swap it out. So you need an antenna. This is the standard antenna. It's usually found in Chevy vehicles or Ford, but in this case, for some reason, you need to convert it. This is the Dodge Chrysler conversion, because this is what comes out from the stock. And it converts it to this. So you could have AM, FM. I have that. And then I have the American International. I actually like Metro, but this one was cheaper, so I was like, screw it. I'm gonna try it out. It is the CDK 644. Right here it tells you what vehicle it covers. In this case, we're doing a Ram, and right there it says 2009 to 12 Rams. And then it covers other vehicles like the Jeeps. And okay, so what else do you need? You need the actual harness that I have right here. You need the harness that goes to this vehicle. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna match the colors. That's all you're doing. Match every single color to this harness, to the stereo harness. And then you plug it in and you reverse your install. And I'll show you guys what it looks like after. Let me show you the amps before I add this. This is when so what I'm doing now is I'm gonna eliminate this because I'm tired of it. The sound quality just isn't there. But if I was to buy a brand new truck like a 2018, yes, I would redo this again so I could keep the stock stereo as long as I can. But at this point, my truck is 7 years old. You know, I was like, screw it, I don't care no more. Okay guys, so these RCAs are running to the back of the cabin, and I'm gonna show you guys how I took this apart to run it over here. So we're going to my amp. This amp right here, it's one of my kickers. It's 200.2, so it's about, I think, like 70 watts RMS per speaker at 4 ohms. This one right here is running my front door speakers. And then let me show you guys the other side. And then we come to this side and we have a capacitor. I believe this one's a 2.0. And then we have the kicker 1000.1. I have this amp. This amp is running this one right here. Check it out, guys. Look at my big old port. It's a 4-inch port. This thing right here thumps. This amp is a little overpowered for this, but I believe I have it halfway or a little bit over or under. Let's check. So you guys could see. There's my crossover where it's at. My subwoofer so I could play extra deep notes. The bass boost I have it off because it'll distort. Look, I have it under half. And that's enough for this because I noticed if I turn it up halfway or a little bit more, you could smell the coil start burning up because it's too much power for it. It's not a blow through, so don't worry, guys. Look, you guys could check out my box. Let's see if I can put this down. You guys could see my port, an L-shaped port. Bam, look at that. It's like a 6-inch port, and then it goes out all the way till it comes out here. Look at that. Alright, guys, pardon the mess. My truck's a little messy, but here I'm going to show you how I routed these RCAs and the speaker cables that come on here. This is the passenger side, and all I did was tuck them in here. I'll show you guys. You pull from this side up like that, and then you pull it. So guys, apparently a lot of Dodges, the newer ones, you guys look closely, I just found this out. It has a constant battery for your memory, but it doesn't have a switch. I was like, what the hell? So apparently it has to do something with the door. When you open the door, it shuts off or whatever. Some kind of relay. So this one's the one from the stereo. This one goes into the car, and this one doesn't have it. So here is my dimmer, my remote, and my switch. So I gotta figure out. Here's the fuse box right here. I found a switch here, but the thing is, I don't want to run it through the firewall. It's just too much work. So let me show you guys what I'm gonna do. Guys, so here we are in the truck. So what I'm gonna do, if you guys know these trucks, there's a cigarette lighter right there. There's another one right here, and if you notice, it has a key, which means it's a 12-volt direct current switched. So it won't power up until you switch the ignition to start the vehicle. So what I'm gonna do is take this off. Here's the harness. I'm gonna find my switch right here with the tester, obviously. Let me show you what I'm gonna do. I highly recommend, if you guys don't have one of these, the tester. And then I'm gonna run some wire so I could have it switched for my stereo, because it doesn't come with a damn switch, which sucks. So let's test this out, see if it works. So guys, if you look in here, there's a piece of metal right here, the chassis. So I'm gonna hook up my tester right there, and then I'm gonna hook it up to this to find out which one is switched. So I'll be back. Okay, so if you notice, there's only two wires right here. There's a black and purple, and there's a blue and purple. So I already tested this black one right here. I'm gonna test the blue and purple right here. See if I get current when I turn on the switch. I want you guys to see, so you guys can see what I'm doing. So I'm gonna power it up. Bam! I got a switch right there. And I was thinking, I was like, I turned off the switch, why doesn't it turn off? But I totally forgot these newer trucks, they have a relay on them, so when you open the door, it shuts off. So I'm gonna open the door, and the switch is off. So look at that. so your stereo will turn off, and that's that. So I'm gonna turn the switch on again, so you guys can see. I get current, so it'll send it to my stereo so it can power up. And then once I take off the key, you know, you park or whatever, is gonna stay on like it used to, the stock stereo. And then when you open the door, bam. So that's how I'm gonna do it. It's my truck. I know a lot of people are gonna be, that's not the way you should do it. You should run it from the fuse box. But at the end of the day, it's my truck. So that's how I'm gonna do it. To me, that's the easiest and fastest way to do it. And I know a lot of you people are gonna be like, "Oh, well, you should have put a fuse in there in the line or whatever." But if you notice, the stereo comes with the fuse already, so I'm not really worried about anything. You know, it should be fine. So let's try it, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like afterwards. Okay guys, so this is what my output for the cigarette lighter looks like. It's pretty secure, it's on there. And then it comes over here to the stereo. And then over here, I completely eliminated the little converter box. And I ran the RCAs through up there, you can see. And they come out over here. And then this is my remote to power up the amps. So I'm gonna show you guys what I did to this right here. Well, all I did was I put the trim piece from the stereo on here, and I bended these tabs right here. Maybe you guys could see it. Right there on the bottom. And all it does is hold the stereo in place, so when you bolt it to the frame, the little plastic thing right here, the new stereo will just slide right in. Alright, I hope you guys can see. It got pretty dark out real quick. So all I did is put tape around my harness right here for the new stereo. I gotta connect my antenna adapter. I pulled my RCAs through. They're here for the sub and the front speakers. So now all I gotta do is put everything back together. Okay, so right here I have the dash kit mounted. I have the wires hanging out. I have the RCAs, the harness. I forgot the antenna adapter, but this is how you guys should be looking. And then, so this is what it looks like, bolted down already. So now you hook up your stereo and you slide it in, and then we could finish it up. Okay guys, so what I'm gonna do here is actually gonna test our switch. I don't know if you guys remember, I used a cigarette lighter switch 12 volt so you could be able to power it up. So let's find out if it actually works. Okay, should work with no issues. Let's find out. Turning the key right here so you guys could see. And there it is, we got power. Check it out. So, okay, so now let's see if it'll come off once I turn off the switch. So here's that. And if, I don't know if you guys remember, it didn't shut off until I opened the door because it has some kind of relay. So let's find out if it does it. There it goes. And it turned off. So let's pair this up with Bluetooth and see what it could do. I'm gonna put the switch on again. And there it is, we got power again. Forgot to show you guys how to take off the cigarette lighter. There's a bolt right here. It's a 7mm, and then there's another one. Maybe you guys can see it right there. So you take this one and this top one, and this will pop off. This bottom part right here, it just goes in with clips. If you guys could see them right there. There's some right here, and then you just slide it back in and you continue up here. So I put everything back together already. You can see right there, I ran the RCA wires over here, tucked them in behind the carpet and then onto the console, and then successfully took the power converter out. If you guys are trying to do the add a subwoofer to a newer truck, this is how I did it. Hope this video helps you guys. And then this is the final product. Check it out, guys. See if I could zoom in. There it is. Bam. I think it's pretty clean. It looks good. At least I'm happy with it. See what you guys think. What I'm gonna do right now is power it up and then plug in my charger right there. See if it affects it at all, so you guys could see. Okay guys, so I got the stereo on, the woofer, everything checked out fine, and this truck is powered up. I got my cigarette lighter plugged in right there, and then I'm gonna plug in the charger. I want you guys to see it. You guys, I don't know if you saw that, but it's charging. So let's turn it up, see what it does. So everything checks out fine. The phone is charging. I don't know if you guys could see it. I was trying to zoom in, but it's still charging. It's plugged in. Remember, this circuit is still connected to the stereo. Guys, honestly, it sounds a lot cleaner than the stock. I am happy right now. I'm glad that I could hook up wirelessly without no stupid aux cable. So there you go. There's a little cheat code right there. That's your cheat sheet right there to get your power from here. That way you don't have to go to your fuse box up there in the front and do all this crap. So far I'm done. I eliminated this thing right here. You guys, if you have a newer truck, I highly recommend to keep the stock as long as you can in there, you know, in case you're leasing it or you're planning to sell it later on or whatever. So hope you guys like this video. Give it a thumbs up, share it with whoever you think is gonna like this video. This video, I did it for two people out there: the people that want to keep their stock stereo and the people that wanted an aftermarket like I did. Guys, I got tired of the stock, so I just figured I'd just throw one in here and see what happens in a few years, see if it affects the computer or whatever, how everyone says that the stock stereo is part of the computer. I don't know if it's true. A lot of people say it is, but I'll give you guys a video update. So I'll see you guys later.